practices that are connected: the ministry of presence and the ministry of listening. Intentional presence and intentional listening. Truly listening is miraculous for both the listener and the speaker. When we receive each other with non-judgment, complete attention, our spirits literally expand. One of the transformational experiences or periods of my life was during my residency as a chaplain. This ministry, probably more than any other, taught me the importance of the ministry of intentional presence and intentional listening. This season of my life as a chaplain embodied intentional presence and intentional listening. I was reminded that the Chinese symbol for listen has multiple symbols. In addition to ears to hear, it includes eyes to see, heart to really understand and to focus. And for me, it means that listening embodies all of our senses. When we listen to people, we look at them, we are attentive to their verbal and nonverbal actions. And one of the most transformational moments consistently was when I was with my patients and hospital staff, is when I was just present. When I was simply present, when I simply have the opportunity to truly listen. One of the most powerful ways that we connect with one another is listening. Truly listening. So I learned that as a spiritual practice, the importance of intentional presence and the importance of intentional listening. In order to do that with others, I need to embody that by doing it with myself. Intentionally being present and intentionally listening to my spirit. Intentionally being present and listening when my body calls for me to slow down or to rest or to take a nap. Spiritual practices embody intentional presence and intentional listening. And when I embody that with myself, I'm able to share that with others, and that grounds me. As people that are committed to justice, so often we spend time being present and intentionally listening to others, which is a practice. But it's also important that we embody that with ourselves. And once we truly learn to be present and listen to ourselves, we can share the spiritual practice of intentional presence and truly listening with all of our senses to others. I will close with a quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. The first service one owes others in the community involves listening to them. Just as our love for God begins with listening to God's word, the beginning of our love for other Christians is learning to listen to them. God's love for us is shown by the fact that God not only gives us God's word, but also lends us God's ear. We do God's work for our sisters and our brothers in our community when we truly learn to listen to them. Today I encourage you, be present and just listen.